Hello everyone. So I play this indie game called Valheim, and there are lots of stats you have to keep an eye on, like the damage to your tools and weapons, your health and hunger bar, a little bit like Minecraft. But there's also stamina. You can't just run about and fight and block all the time, like you would in Minecraft. In Valheim you have to rest to regain your stamina, and when you run out of stamina your character just stops working. It can't block, it can't attack, and in battle, running out of stamina will get your character killed very quickly. Especially in the Ashlands. And the Mistlands. And pretty much everywhere, because it's a hard game. But in Valheim, there are also stamina potions that can give you more, and you can regain stamina by resting or just regularly walking instead of running to and from places. I'm the running kind, so I actually have trouble with it. But if you don't have squirrel brain, in game, it's quite manageable if you keep an eye on it. The thing is, in real life I have a condition called fibromyalgia, which means, along with a bunch of other pain and nerve-related issues, that I have a very limited stamina. But I can't just take a stamina potion, like Red Bull, and continue working. When I run out of stamina, that's it. All I can do is rest. In previous years, I've run about like a madhouse and used up all of my stamina and piked out. And sometimes I'd be out and unable to do anything for days, sometimes for weeks. Once it was for 2 years. So in life I've learned, like in Valheim, that in order to maintain my stamina, I have to regularly slow down. I have to stop rushing about everywhere and just rest. It is against my very squirrel instincts, but it's the only way to keep going. This year I started with many ideas and hopes, and I'd figured out a schedule that helped me maintain my stamina in the long run so I could do all the things I wanted to do. And then, of course, the gods of luck and fortune decided to kick my butt. Repeatedly. Now, I'm not sharing the really private stuff that's happened, but one of the many things that have happened in the first half of 2025 is that my rent went up way beyond what my fixed income can meet. And if you don't know, New Zealand's been in a cost of living crisis for at least a decade, especially to do with rent, and this got infinitely worse after COVID. So I've spent 2 months looking for somewhere I could afford that was disability accessible and compatible with the feline overlord, and there's nothing. Not in this town, not even in this region. Along with the other private stuff I'm dealing with, I'm facing the reality of homelessness by the 1st of September. And this struggle is sucking up all of my stamina. I've been trying to keep up with the posting schedule of every 2 weeks in the hope that by the time I ran out of stamina, I'd have found somewhere to live. But I'm on the edge of physical collapse and no closer to the housing solution. So, in order to save stamina, or spoons, I have to temporarily pare back everything in my life that is not strictly necessary for functionality. Which includes, sadly, posting to this channel. Making videos is a lot of work for able-bodied, financially stable people, but it's a mountain climb for me for each episode. I love doing it, don't get me wrong. I get to share some of my internal world, and I get to feel like I have a purpose in the outer world, but it does take a lot out of me, particularly these storytelling videos. The story being human has been brilliant, but when you're constructing a 5-minute sequence by editing in 4 seconds of footage at a time, it is a hell of a lot of work. And while I'm not going to leave anyone hanging with an unfinished story, which I'll post when I can, I can't sustain this workload at my current stress levels. Assuming I don't become homeless in September, as soon as I'm settled in a new place, I will re-establish the posting schedule. Between now and then, I'll be working on the sets for animating the next story. And if anyone's interested, I may possibly be convinced to give a go some kind of streaming, so we can hang out while I construct these massive sets and armor stand dioramas. So if you'd like to hang out with me while I make sets in my city world, or even, watch me die repeatedly in Valheim, please comment, and I'll see if I can set up something. But let me be clear, I'm not giving up, I just need to rest. Once everything in my offline life is at least stabilized, we can unpause and continue the pursuit of telling stories on Minecraft. Until then, Aranitasa.